Hi everyone, happy Wednesday. It is hump day. It is report card day. So report cards went home. Everybody should have gotten them and they should be in their homework folder to go home. Remember, everything inside the envelope comes out. You get to keep that. And then all I need is a signed envelope and then return it back to school tomorrow so that we have it for the next marking period. So please make sure that your student shows you their report card. If you have any questions or anything, write them down. We do have conferences starting tomorrow night and next week. So myself, Miss Riley, and if your child sees a specialist, we'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions. So again, you can write them down and we can definitely talk about them at conferences. On the back, that is why our comments said, it's so close to each other with the first marking period ending. If you do have any questions or concerns, you can definitely speak to us at conferences. So another reminder, tomorrow's a half day because of conferences. So students are dismissed around 12:20. If you purchased a pretzel for your student, don't worry about bringing in snack. If your student didn't purchase a pretzel, then, no worries. Just make sure you pack a snack for your student tomorrow because it is a long day. We don't have any specials or anything. We will take a lot of breaks, but we're only going to take one snack break right in the middle of the day. So just make sure that they have something to eat. I usually have something in the classroom, but unfortunately I don't. It's like at the very, very bottom of my bag, so I do not have enough for everybody. So that's really all the announcements for between today and tomorrow. Tomorrow's a half day, and then Friday is a regularly scheduled day. So the new things that's been going on, we've been talking about our realistic fiction for writing. We started to create a character and talking about the setting that our story is going to be in and maybe what the problem our character is going to have. And what I'm really trying to have the students focus on is they need to make it a story they can relate to. So yes, they can make up the character, they can make up the setting, they can make up the problem, but they need to be able to relate to it. So it needs to be something that's relatable. Obviously, if it's about a 21-year-old student going to college, a third grader is not going to relate to that. Or I gave the example today, a 30-something-year-old paying bills, they're not going to relate to that. So they need to think of a character their age. What are some problems that happen to students of their age, to children of their age? So we really just started brainstorming today. We had a lot of students in and out of the classroom today, so we're going to do it again tomorrow just so that we have plenty of brainstorming available for when we begin our writing. For reading, we are reading a story called Bat Loves the Night. Today we talked about sequence of events, and students were even doing a little research on finding about different bat facts. For science, we're still working on our Meteorologist for a Day web quest. Today it was kind of hard. Our time got cut a little short just because we got back from special late and then we had to go to lunch. So tomorrow we're going to have a lot more time to be able to work on the computers. And then for math, for the students that stay with me, it's been really, really neat to see. I haven't really showed students how to make or create a bar graph. What the investigation was really for them to kind of create one on their own. So what we did yesterday in class, we came up and brainstormed and voted on different places where we like to visit, different places where we like to read, and different places where, I forget the third one, like to read, like to visit, and like to sleep, I believe. So I tallied up everybody's votes, and then I created a data sheet for all the different categories that we talked about. The students were able to pair up, and they took this data sheet, and they said, okay, so what does my data look like? What questions can I ask about this data? So how many students did this? How many students did that? So once they came up with a question about their data, they cut everything out. So again, this is places where people like to visit. So one question could be, how many people like to go outside of the state of New Jersey? Because on here I see Virginia, I see Disney World, I see Delaware, I see the Carolinas. So that would be a great question. So then they were able to cut out all of the data, and they had to organize it based on their question. So again, if it's places where you like to visit, if it was outside of New Jersey, I'd put that in one pile. Then if it was something that could be inside of New Jersey or close to us, I'd put that in another pile. And then once they did that, they had to make a graph. And I said you could make any type of graph that you want. I said you can make a bar graph, you can make a line graph, you can make a pictograph. Most students chose to make a bar graph. So this is places where they like to visit, and I believe their question for these students were how many of these places were inside and how many were outside. So they used graph paper and they put the numbers up the side, labeled it, this is inside, this is outside. And if I look at this clearly, I can see that 9 people like to visit places that are inside and 6 people like to visit places that are outside. So again, they were able to organize the data how they saw it, they and their partner, which was really interesting to see, because even though some of the partners had the same data sheet, they saw it differently. So it was really interesting to see their thinking and what they did. But that is the biggest thing that we're doing. We just really want the students to understand the data, be able to ask questions about the data, and then try to organize the data themselves and be able to do it that way. So that's what we did today. We're going to be doing that for the rest of the week, and I know next week is a short week as well, so we're going to continue working on that. Again, the students are doing a great job. If you have any questions or concerns, you can make a comment below on the video. If not, I will maybe make one tomorrow. I don't know if we'll be doing math tomorrow. We can't fit everything into the half day. So, you know, if we really don't do math or anything, then I probably won't make a video, especially since it's a half day. We're just going to continue with our reading and continue with our writing. And I really want the students to finish their WebQuest presentation so that we can present at least most of them on Friday. So that's probably what we're going to focus on tomorrow. So everyone have a great night. I know tonight for homework you have a page in your math workbook. It's something very, very similar. You need to organize data, and it asks you a couple questions about it. So the same thing that we've been doing in class. So students shouldn't have too much trouble with it. Have a great night, and I will see you all in the morning. Bye.